अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, लाइव इंटरैक्टिव फोन इन प्रोग्राम टेली क्लास रूम के ताज़ा तरीन शुमारे में आपका खैर मकदम। मैं हूं आपका मेज़बान जमशेद रसूल और मेरे साथ है हुमैरा शफी।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, सबसे पहले आप सभी को हमारी तरफ से आदाब और बहुत बहुत खैर मकदम है अपने इस प्रोग्राम में। Friends, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to everyone for keep watching this program continuously and keep sharing all those views and suggestions on our official Facebook page, Tele Class Room. And friends, you know, being a student, what I've realized in my own life is that we keep watching all those big dreams. And what is important to make all those dreams to come true is to do lots of hard work and have patience and never give up on your dreams.
Absolutely.
And I just remember one of the saying, that is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Right.
और फ्रेंड्स, अब बात करते हैं आज के इस प्रोग्राम के बारे में। आज भी हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में एक काबिल तरीन उस्ताद आए हैं लेक्चर डिलीवर करने, एंड द टॉपिक इज क्लॉजेस। और लेक्चर खत्म हो जाने के बाद आप भी हमारे साथ राबता कर सकते हैं। हमारे टेलीफोन नंबर्स है 2481813 और दूसरा नंबर है 2481832।
Absolutely right, Humaira Shafi. And for today's program, we have chosen the subject, as Humaira said, English language, and the topic is clauses. I hope to pronounce it correctly in front of the elite panel of English language teaching. And for this lecture, to deliver a lecture on this very subject, we have with us a veteran teacher of English language, Mr. Hassan War, GH, and he's a research officer in the State Institute of Education, Kashmir. Sir, a very warm welcome to you in today's program. I hope you will have a great lecture and will get to know a lot about the English language. Okay. And then for the expert, we have with us Mudasir Gul, who is posted as a lecturer in Govt Girls Higher Secondary School, Nawa, Kadal, Srinagar. Sir, a very warm welcome to you in today's program. And in the later half of the program, you'll have the major business. You'll be answering all those trivial and not so trivial questions from the viewers. Again, a warm welcome to you in the program. And then for the students we have in today's program, we are hugely indebted to the Greenview Public High School Maga Management for sending in their students. And again, a very warm welcome to all the students in today's program. And as Humaira said, in the later half of the program, you can be a part of us by calling us at the numbers which are 01942481813. Yes, I said 2481813 and 2481832. And there is also an email address on which they can send the live feed of their emails. And the email address is ddkteleclassroom@gmail.com. Easy to remember, simple and easy to remember. It is ddkteleclassroom@gmail.com. So we'll start the lecture, but before that, a short break. हमारे साथ बने रहने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया ख्वातीन हजरात। तो चलिए आज का लेक्चर स्टार्ट करते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले ये भी बताते चले कि ये प्रोग्राम आप दूरदर्शन केंद्र श्रीनगर और डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ स्कूल एजुकेशन के बाहमी इश्तराक से आप तक पहुंचाया जाता है। तो चलिए आज का लेक्चर स्टार्ट करते हैं। सर, हैव अ ग्रेट वन।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, and good morning to all of you, to viewers also. Thank you. Today, as you know, I'm going to discuss about clauses. It is one of the important topics in English. But before I touch the topic, I would like to give you a little bit information regarding the terms that we generally need in this kind of topic. And here, more especially with subordinate and coordinate clauses in English. When we talk about clauses, let me first of all tell you what a clause means. A clause is actually a group of words with its own subject and predicate, and there is always a verb in it. But when we talk about a phrase, it does not have its subject or predicate. It is a group of words. So that is the difference between a clause and a phrase. But in a clause or in a sentence, we always have a verb. Whether it is a clause, whether it is a sentence, in English, when we speak things, we have to deal with verbs. So you know what is a verb? A verb is a word that tells us about a noun. What a noun is, what a noun has, and what a noun does. Even not only that, but a verb is a word that expresses action, feeling, and existence. So this verb has two main kinds. Number one, that's called finite, and number second, that is non-finite or infinite. When we talk about a finite verb, it has three kinds: transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, and auxiliaries. Then, when we talk about non-finites, it has three kinds. One is infinite. Infinite, what is the word? Not infinite. That is non-finite, but it is infinite. Then participle and gerund. But in order to know these clauses, it is very important for a student to know what is a finite verb. What is a finite? I'll write here a sentence. And the sentence is, I know the girl who is a singer. Who is a singer? Can you tell me which words are here verbs used as verbs in this sentence? Yes, please. No. If I tell you to change this sentence into past, can you?
Yes, sir.
Please, one of the students.
First,
Yes. Yes. I knew the girl
Who is a singer? Who was a singer?
who was
Was a singer.
So these two words here, this know, it changed into knew as it is past and is into was. So it is clear here that the words that change into present into past, are passed into present. These are finite verbs. So let me categorize now these finite verbs. Which verbs are finite? For example, I'll write different kinds of verbs here. Let me take the same verb, know. The second form is knew. Third form of verb is known, or we can say past participle. Ing form of verb is knowing, because we write first form of verb plus ing. If it is go, then going. If it is walk, then
walking.
If it is talk,
Talking.
very good. And then to infinitive.
To know.
That means to know. Among this group, you can find the finites and non-finites. This form can be changed, and this form can be changed in a sentence. In a
Sentence.
While writing a sentence, only these verbs can be changed from one form to
Another.
So this is a finite verb. First form of verb is finite.
Yes, sir.
Second form of verb, as grammarians say, it is finite, but
Yes, sir.
sometimes we feel that it must not, but it is finite. Third form of verb is always non-finite. So I'll write here and non-finite, NM, F for finite, F for finite, and knowing what is this, finite or non-finite?
Non-finite.
Very good, non-finite. And there is to know, what is this, finite or non-finite? This is non-finite.
Non-finite.
So we can write non-finite. But in a sentence, we usually use what we say auxiliaries. So all auxiliaries, if I take be form, there is, am, are, was, were, been, and being. Among this group of words, is, am, are, was, and were. These are finite verbs.
Yes,
These
sir.
are
Finite verbs.
and been and being. These are non-finite. Why? Because sometimes you will be asked to change a verb into ing form.
Inform.
For example, as you here made, know into knowing, go into going, walk into
Walking.
write into
Writing.
But if I tell you, can you make this auxiliary is or was into ing form or were? Is there ing form for them?
No, sir.
Yes, there is, definitely. Because this group is from be form. So we can write their ing form as being. As
Being.
Why do we need this? Because we are going to discuss very important thing, that is subordinative and coordinative conjunctions that are used in different kinds of clauses, that is subordinate clauses and coordinate clauses. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
This is very important. And all auxiliaries, I have already told you, these are as finite verbs. Okay. The second thing.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes?
You tell me what is a finite verb, but how can we find these finite verbs?
Yeah. I've already told you that this is very easy. When I wrote a sentence here, I know the girl who is a singer. The words know and is. We changed that into past. That means knew and was. So we can find it like this. First form and second form of verb is always finite. And other forms, that means past participle form, that is non-finite. Ing form of verb is non-finite. And there is 2 plus infinitive, that's also. And you know why this is called as finite? Because this is very limited to its subject, that means to its number and person. That's why it is called finite. Finite means limited. Okay, and there is one more thing that you can make your own definition, that the verbs that change into present, from present to past, and past to present, these are as finite verbs. Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So you told us that clause is a part of sentence,
Yeah.
which has its own predicate as well as subject. So then what's the difference between clause and sentence?
Good. Let me come to that point. When I am discussing about a clause can be a sentence. A clause can be a
Sentence.
Because there are different kinds of sentences that I would like to touch. For your question, let me tell you, there are 3 kinds of sentences. 3 kinds of
Sentences.
Number 1, that is called as simple sentence. What is that?
Simple
And
sentence.
in this kind of sentence, there is only one clause. There is only
One clause.
When we talk a simple sentence, it has only one clause. Okay? When we say it has only one clause, it means that there is only one finite verb in it. One finite verb. So this is very important for you to remember this thing. Only one finite verb in a simple sentence. And the third point that you have to remember, it may or may not have a non-finite verb in it. Okay. May or may not have a non-finite verb in it. This is a simple sentence. And a simple sentence can be a complete clause. It is a complete clause because it gives us a complete sense. It has its own subject and predicate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Please give me any of the sentences that you like. Any sentence that you think it may be a simple.
He's writing a letter.
Okay, see, I'll write he is writing a letter. If I tell you a question, ask you a question, can you choose a finite or non-finite verb from this sentence? Yes?
Non-finite.
Which is non-finite?
Writing.
Very good, because it is written in ing form. Can you tell me, is there any finite verb in it?
Yes, sir.
Which word?
Is.
So verb here, it is finite verb because it is an auxiliary.
Yes, sir.
So I've already told it may or may not have a non-finite. See, it is a simple sentence. It has its own subject and predicate. So it is a simple sentence. Please give me any more example.
It's Sunday today.
Okay. It is
It's Sunday today,
Sunday today.
so the shops are closed.
Okay. You have written it, so the
Shops are closed.
are closed. Now, let me tell you first like this. It is Sunday today. This part of a sentence, this clause of a sentence, like up to this today, it gives us a complete sense. It gives us a
Complete sense.
So, if we write it separately, it is a simple sentence. But you have added something more to it, so it is not a simple. It may be some another, because we are discussing now. It's another kind, that is compound and complex type of
sentence.
sentences. So here, from this sentence, there are 2 parts, 2 clauses. One is main clause, a principle that gives us its own meaning, complete meaning. That is, it is Sunday today. So this part of a sentence, it is a clause. It is a clause of this sentence. This is a main clause, and if we write it separately, it is a simple sentence. But it is used with another part of the sentence, that is this. So the shops are closed. So it I'll tell you what is a subordinate conjunction and what is a coordinate conjunction and what are the subordinate and coordinate clauses after this. Good. Now, a simple sentence, you will once more tell me what is a simple, what do you understand by a simple sentence?
Simple sentence is a sentence which has a finite clause and is a finite verb in it.
Very good. One student at one time. One time.
Student at one time.
One time. Okay? Yes?
A simple sentence is that which has one clause, one finite verb, and may or may not have non-finite verb.
Very good. Very good. And you know, sometimes there you may not find a conjunction that joins adjectives or that joins verbs or adverbs. But sometimes there we can use a conjunction that joins it a subject. For example, Bashir and Rashid are friends. So we use it there and that joins a subject. That can be a simple sentence, not a compound one. Now, another thing. It is a simple. Now let me tell you about a compound. Compound sentence. When we talk about this compound sentence, there are always two clauses in it. And we always use a coordinative conjunction in it. What? Coordinative
conjunction.
When I talk about coordinative conjunction, you must write a full list of these conjunctions. That will be easy for you then to recognize a compound sentence and a complex sentence. There are four kinds of this coordinative conjunctions. These are generally, let me tell you the conjunctions first. Four conjunctions I'll tell you. And, but,
Or,
and, but, or, therefore. And these four conjunctions are from four particular kinds. That means when I talk about and, this is conjunction of addition. So there are conjunctions of addition. Conjunctions of
contrast.
contrast. When I use but, it is from the group of conjunctions of contrast. Then there is or. It is a conjunction. This is from conjunctions of choice. And this conjunctions that show inference or result is therefore. And here's a list that I'll give you of these coordinative conjunctions. See, here these are the subordinative conjunctions, and coordinative conjunctions are showing addition, and in this group you can use and, both, also, as well as, not only but also, no less than, neither, either, etc. etc. Then there is second group, that is conjunctions showing choice. Either, or, neither, nor, otherwise, etc. Then there is the third part, that is showing contrast. But, still, yet, only,
however, whereas, while, nevertheless.
Very good. There are other conjunctions also, but this is a list that you can write, and you must remember these things, because from this list you will come to know, you will just recognize whether this is a coordinative conjunction, this is a coordinative type of clause or a subordinative clause. This is a what I say, a complex type of sentence, or this is a compound type. Now the fourth one is showing inference or result. That is therefore, for, so that, then, etc. Then there is one more group that is called as subordinative conjunctions. But before that, let me tell you a sentence where you can write and, but, or any of these. Please tell me a sentence. Yes, a compound sentence. Because I'll show you that it has two clauses connected by, joined by a coordinate conjunction. Okay, let me write. He is poor, but he is honest. He is poor, but he is honest. Now see, he is poor, it gives us a complete sense. It has its own subject and predicate, so it is a simple sentence.
Yes, sir.
But if I take this one, he is honest, once again two simple sentences are joined by a Conjunction, coordinative conjunction. But so this is a compound sentence. A compound sentence means a sentence wherein we can find two clauses and connect it or join it by a coordinative conjunction. Coordinative
Conjunction.
and each clause is of equal rank and order. Can you give me any more sentence? Any of the sentences? Yes, please.
He saw a man.
He saw a man.
He was hungry.
Very good. He was hungry. Now see, here are two sentences. He saw a man. This is a simple sentence.
Yes, sir.
He was hungry. He was
Hungry.
This is a simple sentence, and we can join it by putting and here. He saw a man
and he was hungry.
And he was
Hungry.
Now the sentence is
Compound
because
sentence.
it has two clauses. Each clause has its own subject and
subject and
predicate. This is
predicate.
called as compound sentence. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let me tell you about a sentence, kind of sentence that is complex type of sentence.
Sir,
Any question?
sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
How can we change these two sentences? He saw a man, he was hungry,
Yeah.
into a simple one.
Okay, very good question. Because a simple sentence can have only one finite verb. And we have to change this sentence into a simple.
Simple.
See, he saw a man and he was hungry.
Hungry.
We have to change one finite verb into non-finite.
Yes, sir.
And the meaning must be very correct. For me, it is very easy, but for you, you must make a drill. You must write more and more sentences to change them. He saw a hungry man. See, he saw a hungry man. So it means these two sentences are now combined into one without any conjunction, and that's the simple. So I write here, and you must also note, he saw a hungry man. Okay? Acha. Can you make, now we have to change the same sentences into a complex. How we can change? Let me tell you first what a complex sentence is.
Sir, sorry, I have a sentence. Please
Yes,
change it
please.
into the compound sentence.
Yes, yes.
It is a search his pocket. You will find a pen.
Okay. This is where these are two, once again, two sentences that are simple. That are? Simple. What is the sentence? Search his pocket. Search his pocket. Full stop. You will find the pen. And I have to make it?
Into compound sentence.
Okay. Search his pocket simply and you will find the pen. You will find the pen. So these two sentences are joined by which word? Which conjunction? Coordinative conjunction. That means and. And now let me tell you what is a complex sentence, because we have to change the sentence into simple, compound and complex one. As you told me here this time that how we can change these two simple sentence or this compound sentence into a simple one. And that there should be more and more drill for you that how you can change. Now, a complex sentence is that where there are two clauses in it. How many clauses? Two clauses. And one is the principal or main clause, and the second is dependent clause. Or that's called as subordinate clause. That is called as subordinate clause. When I say subordinate clause, it means that I have to use or we have to use a subordinate conjunction in it. So what are the subordinate conjunctions? I'm going to tell you. So shall I rub it off?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, a complex sentence. It has two clauses, two or more clauses. Okay?
Yes, sir.
One principal or main clause we can write. But it is also called as dependent clause. What? Dependent clause. This another.
No, independent.
Another dependent clause. What? Because I am going to tell you about complex sentence.
This is principal or
This is
main?
principal clause,
Or
this is main
independent.
clause, okay? The another clause that we add to it, that is a dependent clause. That is a
Dependent clause.
okay, or a subordinative clause. We can write it subordinate clause, or dependent. Why it is called as dependent clause? Why subordinate clause? Clear? Subordinate means which is dependent on another. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So here it is clear. Always with a subordinative conjunction. With a subordinative
Conjunction.
And if I talk about subordinative conjunctions, these are of 9 kinds. And these are, let me tell you the list of these subordinative conjunctions. These are that show time, where we use while, when, after, before.
Since, as soon as, until, etc.
Then the conjunctions that show place,
What, whatever.
reason,
Because, since, as,
manner.
according, so far as, etc.
Very good. And there are other conjunctions from this group, from subordinative conjunctions. These are conjunctions showing condition.
If, whether, unless, provided that.
That, okay? Then purpose.
That, so that, lest, in order.
And there are conjunctions that show comparison, contrast, and there are the conjunctions that, as, no less than, thou, T-H-O-U-G-H, what is this?
Thou.
A-L-T-H-O-U-G-H,
Although.
although. The pronunciation for the word is although, not although as generally we say. It is although or thou. Okay, these are the conjunctions, and you know all relative clauses. And relative clauses, not relative clause as generally students say. All relative clauses, these are, and if clauses, these are generally what I say, complex type of sentences. Complex type of sentence, because we use their conjunctions. And you know, from this group of conjunctions, or from this group of sentences, when we talk about complex type of sentences, there are noun clauses, there are adjectival clauses, there are adverbial clauses, and I don't want to talk about those clauses because the topic is very, I can say it is a big topic. I cannot touch all the things here, but you must consider it that among this group there comes the noun clauses, adjectival clauses, and adverbial clauses, because we use conjunctions like who, which, that, where, sometimes where, when, etc., etc. Okay. Now let me tell you, can you please, I have already discussed 3 kinds of clauses, simple, compound, and complex. Give me sentences, so that I can change from simple to compound, then compound to complex. Because later I have to touch a very important exercise regarding conditional clauses. That is also a type of complex clause, a complex type of sentence. Anybody? Yes. Any
He's
sentence?
very rich.
Yes.
He's very rich. He's unhappy.
He is very rich. Okay?
Yes, sir.
He is
unhappy.
unhappy. Now, very good sentences these are, but these 2 sentences are both are simple.
Yes,
both
sir.
are
Simple.
and I have to change them first. Convert into a compound one.
Then
How
complex.
can you please? Anybody?
Yes, sir. He's very rich and he's unhappy.
He is rich.
And
Okay.
but
Okay,
he's
this is also
unhappy.
correct. He is rich and he is, because this is addition.
Yes,
but
sir.
can you give contrast?
But
he's
he's unhappy.
Okay, this also is correct because there should be the meaning, but appropriate. He is very rich, yet he is.
Is unhappy.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What type of sentence it is?
Compound.
So, first of all, can you convert these 2 sentences into a simple one? Shabash. Yes, please.
Being rich, he is unhappy.
Very good. See how he tried his best. Because he made one of the verbs into
Yes,
non-final.
yes,
He
sir.
converted it. So I can write it here. Being
rich,
he
he's unhappy.
is unhappy. He is.
Unhappy.
So see this complete clause with its own subject and predicate. So this type of sentence is a simple one. Then the second one. Can you convert it into a complex? Into compound? First, compound. Abhi bata diya.
He is very rich. He is very rich, yet he is unhappy.
Okay. Complex one. And तो वो तो है that is a compound, and yet he is that is a compound. Can you make it into complex? Yes. Here are the conjunctions that will help you.
Yes.
Although, what you say? Although he is rich, he is unhappy. And in complex type of sentence, this is only type of sentence where you can write first clause, then second. If you want to change it, second first, and then the first one later on. This is the only clause where there will be no change in meaning. Now let me discuss about the very important thing, that is conditional clauses in English that are a type of complex sentences. Condition or conditionals. You know, there are 4 types of conditionals in English. One is zero conditional. The second one is first conditional or first condition, or will. We also call it will condition or will conditional. The third one is that is second conditional or second condition, or we generally use in main clause would plus first form of verb, would conditional, that's why it's called. Then the third one is, fourth one, that is third conditional or third condition. It is, we generally use would have plus third form of verb, third form in its main clause. Now that is why it is called as, it is being called as would have condition. And these are very important as per our speaking is concerned, because most people speak English without thinking where we have to use will or would. Yes. That gives incomplete sense and incorrect sense. Let me tell you first this first condition, zero conditional. It means there is always real happening. That always happens. That always, and sometimes man-made rule. For example, if we throw a ball upwards, what is going down then? Where it goes? It comes down. We will never say, when we throw a ball upwards, if we throw a ball upwards, it comes down. We will not say it will come down, because sometimes this is coming in correct and incorrect type of sentences. So we throw a ball upwards and it comes down. Or if we throw a ball upwards, it comes down. Not it will come down. So this is what we say. If we heat butter, what happens? It melts. It melts, not it will melt. That's incorrect. Okay? If we heat water, what happens? It boils, not it will boil. Because where there is real happening, we use, in both the clauses, we use present tense plus present tense without will or without would. Then the second, that is called as first condition. It is always the action that comes in future. It may, something that may or might happen in future. For example, if we go to coaching center, if we go, I have used the verb first form, present tense. If we go to, we will learn things. We will learn English grammar, okay? We will learn different subjects. So, will plus learn, will plus first form of verb. Simple future. Then, the would condition, the second conditional, we always write past tense. We always write past tense in main clause, and would in main clause and past tense in if clause. For example, if I went there, I would get a thing for you. I would get a book for you. If I went to Jammu, meaning is not past. It looks that it is past tense. For example, I'll tell you what's happening, why it is not past. If I were a bird, I would fly. I would fly. So what does this mean? I am not a bird. This is imagining things. Imagining condition. This is imagining condition. This is imagining condition. If I were a bird, I am not a bird. But I say if I were a bird, I would fly. I would fly. Then if I were a millionaire, I would spend money among poor people. See, would plus first form of verb. And the tense is not, it looks that tense is past, but meaning is present. This is always imagining condition. This is always imagining condition. This is not a real condition. That's why this kind of sentence is called as unreal condition. What?
Unreal condition.
Then there is third conditional, that is called as the would have condition also. In these type of sentences, we generally use such clauses where the action is impossible. where the situation is impossible. For example, you say, some of the students came to this class, they will say that if I had visited with Warsaw to attend teleclass, I would have learned
English.
I would have
Learned English.
Would have, but he has not. So that he cannot come now here. So this is impossible for him now to attend this class because we'll complete it after some time.
Yes, sir.
Or sometimes you want to visit anywhere, okay? But you could not. You will use such a type of structure. If I had visited there, I would not have to cut a sorry figure. So what is the situation here? It is the impossible situation. If I had worked hard in the examination, maybe some of the students are not working hard. They are just wasting their time. But after the results come out, they had to cut a sorry figure. The result is something they were not expecting. So he or she can say, if I had worked hard, I would not have to cut a sorry figure. So this is impossible situation. This is
Impossible situation.
Now these are four, because all these type of conditionals come into complex type of sentences. Now there are relative clauses. Let me tell you, tell me any of the sentences, only two sentences. I'll convert into relative clause or if clause or any. Please, have you any sentence? Yes, sir. Yes, please. आप बेटे कोई दो sentence बताइए मुझे, please.
Search his pockets.
That has already been done. Is there any sentence?
He's an honest fool.
Okay. He is an honest poor. See the phrase. And I've already touched the phrase also.
Yes.
A phrase is a group of words. And that does not have it a subject or predicate. But sometimes, maybe often it has not even the verb in it. But sometimes there are some phrases that are called also as verb phrases. Okay, let me not touch that. This is a simple type of sentence because there are adjectives, no doubt these are not joined. But I've already told you this kind of sentence that he is poor but he is honest. But he is honest. It's a compound type of sentence. If I say it as a complex sentence, how can you change it into a complex? He is poor, yet he is honest. Yet he is honest. Okay, please give me any of the two sentences. Oh, I'll give you some. I'll write here a sentence. He ran out and he was very fast. Please tell me. He ran out and he was very fast. Which type of sentence is this?
Compound sentence.
Compound. Yes, can you change it into complex? Shabash. He ran out and he was very fast. He ran as fast as he could. Now there are some sentences where we generally find you remove two. He is too weak to walk. What kind of sentence is this? This is simple.
Simple sentence.
Okay? He is so weak that he cannot walk. What kind of sentence this is? It is complex. And he is so weak and he cannot walk. This is a compound type of sentence. Have you any question? Any questions regarding the topic today?
Why is this subordinate clause called a subordinate?
Very good.
Subordinate clause as
Why subordinate clause is subordinate and coordinate? This is because a subordinate means that is dependent on another. Okay? And a coordinate means that is independent. That's why these are called subordinate and what I say independent clauses or coordinate clauses. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that patience you have.
Well, we must be thankful for that glorious lecture, for that energetic lecture. आप बैठिए sir, have some water.
Thank you sir. Thank you.
Take some rest. And dear friends, अब प्रोग्राम का वो दिलचस्प मरहला आ चुका है जब हम आपके साथ जुड़ते हैं ऑन द टेलीफोन नंबर्स 2481813 और 2481832. प्लीज़ डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू प्रीफिक्स 0194 और एक दायरे के तहत हम आपके कॉल्स लेते हैं. प्लीज़ व्हेनेवर यू आस्क समथिंग आस्क इट विद इन अ स्टुपुलेटेड टाइम ऑफ 60 सेकंड्स. 60 सेकंड्स के दायरे के अंदर आप अपनी बात कहिए. तो चलिए कॉल्स का सिलसिला शुरू करते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले एक ब्रेक. ख़ातिन हज़रात, एक बार फिर से आपका खैर मकदम है हमारे प्रोग्राम में। तो मकबूल साहब जुड़ चुके हैं, मकबूल अंद्राबी साहब जुड़ चुके हैं हमारे साथ रावलपुरा से। मकबूल अंद्राबी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। मकबूल अंद्राबी साहब, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, खैर मकदम आपका प्रोग्राम में।
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग।
Great well done by you for this Tele Class Room. But I have one question.
प्लीज गो ऑन।
This is a classroom. Whether you name it Tele or is it other classroom.
सर
But
थोड़ा
it's a classroom.
इत्मीनान के साथ अपना सवाल पूछिए, थोड़े करार के साथ अपना सवाल पूछिए।
It is the Tele Class Room you have named it. Am I correct?
Yes sir, this program is named Tele Class Room sir.
Yes. But it's a classroom.
Yeah, it is a classroom, no doubt.
So one student just now took it up.
हाँ,
He want to ask a question to the teacher.
okay.
And I repeat what he said.
हाँ,
You tell me, a comma. You tell me what is this. In classroom, it's the student.
Okay.
Who have asked, he would ask it. You tell me, sir.
okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I somehow got your question. You have a suggestion that you need to improve certain things to make it look like kind of a tele classroom. Is it so?
The program is nice. I want to. Actually, this net is closed. I have given you this.
एक स्टूडेंट ने यूज किया था यूटेल।
You know the original program about Nazmi?
हाँ,
That is a masterpiece. I swear.
okay.
I am a engineer now. I have learned in many teachers, but it's a super piece. Today I want to know. Just tell one to the students that tell them how to behave with the teachers.
Yeah, that's right.
Simple.
You must be, sir.
I start. Not hey, but tell me.
Yes, exactly. I think we got your suggestion. Experts sir would like to say something
Yeah,
about it. Thanks a
yeah.
lot for the call,
Yeah,
sir. Thanks a
what's
lot
his
for the call. His name is Maqbool Andrabi sir
Maqbool
from
sir,
Rawalpura.
thanks very much. Yeah, they should have behaved very formally because it is a formal setting. So they should have addressed the teacher in a formal manner.
Right.
With respect.
They should
with
have.
regard.
They should have.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks a
Next
lot
time
for that
it will be taken
suggestion,
care
and
of.
we tender an apology to that end. And yes, sir. While the sir was delivering a lecture, you were jotting down something on the paper. What was it? What is the first thing that you jotted down?
First thing, War Sahab has discussed everything in detail. He has comprehensively discussed each and everything. But to add something to his this lecture.
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. First thing, the sir told you that verb tells us about noun. Whenever we talk about noun, we also talk about pronoun. It is understood. Yeah. So you know that. Second thing which I want to, a compound sentence is made up of two or more.
Ji.
Not only two. It is made up of two or more principal or coordinate clauses. Remember this thing. Whenever we talk about principal clause, we talk about coordinate clause.
Ji.
It is understood. One more thing, zero condition. It is no condition actually. When we heat butter, it melts.
It melts.
So it is actually why we call it zero condition. Because there is no condition. It is a general universal truth.
Right.
The third one is unreal present condition. Normally we don't use this unreal present condition, but in language we need to talk about certain things. Suppose the sir said, if I were bird, I would fly. Similarly, we say, if I were you, I would help you. Normally we say these things. No. If I
Is
were,
there more to it? Is there more to it?
No.
That you had to
it's
say?
all- Yes.
It is sorry for cutting you short because we have a caller waiting for us, Mr. M.K. Bhatt from Delhi. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to you in today's program.
I congratulate the channel that these people are holding such classes for the benefit of the Kashmiri students.
Ji.
Yes. And now the question about War Sahab is giving a good lecture today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Given a good lecture in complex into compound and complex into simple, and reversing back and that the same. And he has given conditional lectures. That was very good for the students of Kashmir. They should remember. And the Kashmiri students day by day are understanding these things. But I want to tell about the verb, the clauses. There is a verb first in the clauses. He has told, nice. He sings. He is singing. Yeah, he is there are clauses. But I can say in verb there is less feeling. Feeling is not there. There are actions.
Yeah.
There is subject, there is object, but abstract he tells there is feeling. Feeling is there when there is coordinate clause. Then we will mix the clause with the verb. Suppose Lata Mangeshkar Nightingale of India sings very nice, beautiful song. There is adjective, verb, subject and everything. But that touches my heart. Then we keep it coordinated, that touches my heart. Or singing touches, that gives that abstract feeling. That is good. But instead of that, in conditional or other complex sentences, Mr. War has given a good lecture.
So we would really appreciate if you come to the point. What is it that you want to ask, sir?
I want that abstract clauses which he has told in the verb clauses, that is used less in that. Less.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that suggestion. Sorry for cutting you short, sir. He talks about the abstract clauses that you did not touch upon, sir. Var, sir, if you want to say something on it, or the expert, sir, can say.
He wants to write more sentences.
Any sentence where there is feeling.
Or you can answer
He
it the way you want to.
Sir has himself given a sentence. I like Lata Mangeshkar because she sings well. Sings is actually, it is known as third person singular noun. Singular verb.
Right.
It is always used with she, he, it or name. Suppose if I say sing is first form of verb, sang is second form, third is sang, ing form is singing. Then there is one more form of verb which we only use with third person singulars. He, she, it and names. And we talk about third person. That is, we have to sometimes add s or es to that verb. Is that also verb?
Thanks a lot for that breezy answer. We have Saeed Yasir from Pulwama. Assalamu alaikum, sir. A very warm welcome to you in today's program.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, first of all, I would like to congratulate all the stakeholders of this program.
Thanks a lot.
Sir, my question is, why didn't you prefer to name types of conditions as probable, improbable, and impossible? And can you please tell me what is the fourth one according to this?
Fourth one.
What's the fourth one, sir? Would you like to answer?
Fourth one is where there is impossible condition, where there is impossible situation. And I have given some examples also.
Right.
Let me answer this question. We have an example. Suppose if I had done this work, I would have succeeded. In conditional clause, we use had plus third form verb in past perfect, structure of past perfect. Then in main clause, we use would plus have plus past participle or third form of verb.
Yes, and maybe due to the paucity of the time, sir was not able to throw more light on it. Thanks a lot for that call, Saeed.
Yes, sir has given examples.
Now we have Javed Ahmed Tak from Anantrag. Sir, assalamu alaikum. A very warm welcome to you in today's program.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, I am very thankful to the panelists. Today's lecture was very mind-blowing. It gave a lot of information about the class, and it was very clear and very simple. I just have a comment that school education department should do such refresher courses. Those person is doing, they should also enhance it, because we have a lot of problems. Kashmiri students are not in a position to present. They are not in a because of the language problems.
Right.
So we should strengthen this program. We should have some remedial classes at the grassroots level also. School education department should take cognizance of that, because presently we are having the unemployment, and language is one of the barriers why our students are not.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Javed Ahmed Tak, and we are always thankful to listeners like you who listen to watch our program rather so keenly. Thanks a lot for that. Now we have Sajadur Rahman all the way from Punjab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Khair maqdam aapka aaj ke program mein.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, this is Sajadur Rahman from Punjab.
Ji.
So I have a question regarding subordinate class, but first of all, I would like to thank Tele Class Room, Mr. War Saab, and all the people who aired this Tele Class Room, and it's very important for us, for Kashmiris mostly, to understand what classes are. For example, conditional classes. Often we face problems by using will conditional or first conditional or second or third, whatever that is. So I have a question regarding subordinate class. What it is actually.
Subordinate clauses. You have a question about subordinate. Subordinate clause is simply which is dependent always.
Well, thanks a lot for that call. Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Suppose we have a sentence. I have a chain which is made of gold. I have a chain is an independent or main or principal clause. Its meaning is independent. But when I talk about which is gold, which is made of gold, its meaning is always dependent on I have a chain. Its meaning is not independently. I cannot write this sentence independently. Its meaning is always dependent on the principal or main clause. That's why this is known as subordinate or dependent clause.
And what is the fourth point that you had jotted down on the paper?
I talked about it. If we went to this is unreal present condition. I talked about.
You talked about it, and then we have one message on our Facebook page, sir. It says, "Very nice and amazing to see this program. I have missed some last shows of your program. How can I watch these programs?" And for that, we have a simple channel on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and search DDK Tele Class Room, and there are all the programs that they are posted there. And then this email: "Good morning. I'm Junaid Qureshi from Srinagar. With all due respect to the teacher, I would like to say that he was a way too fast today. May I know from the learned teacher why he preferred a capsule classroom today, and why you inculcated so many things in such short span of time? What was the need for that?
Actually,
and what was the compulsion?
Actually, I want to give more and more things in less time.
Yes.
That's why that's what was the main point for today's lecture. I want to give more and more information so that students could know more about things. That's
Actually,
why
they are interconnected to each other, these topics. So, sir wanted to clarify each and everything in this single classroom. Otherwise, we would have a different session for this class.
Well, thanks a lot. Then we have GM Khan with us from all the way from Budgam. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Khair maqdam aapka aaj ke program mein.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I have a question. The teacher classified sentence into three, just like
simple, compound, and
complex.
Yes, sir.
There is other classification like assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence. What is the difference between the two classifications?
Which
Yes, I think we got your question, sir. Would you like to answer?
Yes.
There are different kinds of questions. It is sentences also. For example,
simple, complex, compound.
Okay, let me tell you. For example, there are interrogative sentences. Even in interrogative sentences, we use words like auxiliaries, starting with auxiliaries, or starting with WH questions. Who, which, where, when, and we put note of interrogation there. But in these type of sentences, these are connected. This is the main difference, that there are other types of sentences also. But these sentences, we generally, these are different kinds of sentences. And those sentences where we use, for example, I saw a teacher who was very hardworking. Here, the second part of the sentence does not tell us about question. If I say, who was very hardworking, only that, we have to put interrogation about at the end of the sentence. So interrogative sentences are something different, and where we use who, which, etc., these what I say, these pronouns, relative pronouns, these are generally we use in complex type of sentence and in relative clauses.
Well, sorry for cutting you short. We have a caller all the way from Bangalore, Karnataka, Gulamuddin Sofi. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Khair maqdam aapka aaj ke program mein.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
सर मैं डॉक्टर गुलामुद्दीन सोफी बोल रहा हूँ बेंगलोर से।
सर
हमारा इंतजार रहता है वहाँ आपके प्रोग्राम का।
थैंक यू सर।
Thanks a lot for waiting for our program.
हमारा सलाम बोल दीजिएगा वहाँ को।
थैंक यू सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। Thanks a lot.
ये क्लास का प्रोग्राम बहुत सही, बहुत अच्छा रहा, और ये प्रोग्राम होते रहने चाहिए, और आपकी ये कोशिश जो है बहुत ही अच्छी है, मुबारक है हम सब लोगों के लिए।
And we are hugely thankful to viewers like you who watch your program and either make an effort to call into our program. Thanks a lot once again, Gulamuddin Sofi.
उस वक्त सारे काम हम छोड़ देते हैं, हम लोग बैठते हैं टीवी पर, और ये अच्छा खासा इनको फायदा होता है।
जी, नवाजिश आपकी। शुक्रिया कॉल करने के लिए।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू
डॉक्टर साहब, थैंक यू।
Well, कुछ emails भी है हमारे पास. Can clause be a sentence in itself? A question. For example, as you said, go, run. However, in Arabic language, there are words, clauses like ikhraj, go, ishrab, drink. So here also we see a simple clause as sentence. But in English language, can a simple word be a clause as well as a sentence without actually being a verb?
Yeah, definitely.
Mohammad Rajab Rufai लिखते हैं श्रीनगर से, काफी complex question पूछा है इन्होंने.
Yeah, this is a very good question. And even sometimes one word can be a one clause
without being a verb.
Yeah, no, not a verb is very important.
The verb is very important.
Without any verb, there is no sentence, there is no clause.
There's no clause.
Verb is very important everywhere. That's why I've discussed the main forms of this verb. So even if we sometimes tell one verb, for example, go, it means the subject is hidden there. You go. So it is a complete sentence. It is a complete clause. It is a complete sentence. So a verb is very important there in a clause and in a sentence.
That's something really important that you said. A verb is very important whether it's a clause or whether it's a sentence.
You want to chip in? Yes. These are actually imperative sentences. They come without subject. We have one more category of sentence, exclamatory sentence. Suppose if I see a beautiful thing, I say what beauty. It's not necessary to mention it is, but it is verb is hidden. Is that clear? So these sentences can also act as clauses itself.
Well, thanks a lot for that breezy reply. And now we have Sheikh Arshid from Tral. Assalamu alaikum sir. Khair maqdam aapka aaj ke program mein.
Assalamu alaikum sir. Sheikh Arshid calling from Batman sir.
Ji sir. Khair maqdam aapka program mein.
Sir, my question is, already I have asked you a question in the last program about the language. Whether it is a subject, if it is taught as a subject, then it is totally injustice for the student. I asked you the question that if we take the language as a subject, then it is injustice. If we take as a language what is the convenient way about the teaching of the language?
What is the convenient way of teaching a language? Thanks a lot for that call. We got your suggestion or question, whatever it was, sir.
Yeah, he is right. Actually, unfortunate part is this, most of the teachers teach it as a subject. In fact, it is not a subject, it is general English, it is actually language.
Okay.
And why we teach it from book? It is actually an approach of teaching language through literature.
Okay.
We have poems, we have prose, we have short stories, we have plays. So it is an approach of teaching language actually, not the subject itself. Suppose some of us, we have all passed 10th class. Then in the market, nobody asks us what chapter you have read in the 10th class,
right.
what poem you have read in the 10th class. They actually see my language skills. So it is to teach language, and why we teach it. Normally it has been traditionally taught like this, and particularly now people from childhood, suppose, can I say in Kashmiri?
You can.
Suppose I have a child,
right.
So right from childhood I try to teach him poetry. Right from childhood I try to teach him stories.
Right from the babbling stage.
Yeah, we like to read through stories, we like to read through plays, we like to read through short stories, we like to read through poetry.
That's how we acquire a language, that's how we
actually,
gain that competence in that
actually
language.
we learn this language. Acquisition is from society.
Acquisition is from society.
And to add to him, you can if he's a student, he can ask his teacher to make his English class a classroom setting into a language acquisition classroom, rather than only language learning classroom. We are teaching actually from both.
Shall I add to it?
Please. Briefly, but
you know, the horsemen from Tangmarg or Gulmarg or from boatmen, they can speak English fluently, but without knowing the ins and outs of the language. As a student,
our
we must know
purpose is to teach language perfectly.
As a professor, as a lecturer, we must know what is actually behind it, and we cannot. A horseman cannot use go into nouns.
Yeah.
So as a student, we must know it. That's why this is the difference. Otherwise, we should taught it.
एक बार फिर से कथा कलामी के लिए इंतहाई माफी चाहता हूँ. We have a caller from Nawa. अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, खैर मकदम आपका आज के प्रोग्राम में. सर अपने टेलीविजन सेट का वॉल्यूम कम कर दीजिए.
हेलो
जी सर, अपने टेलीविजन सेट का वॉल्यूम कम कर दीजिए सर. हेलो आपका खैर मकदम है डीडी के टेली क्लासरूम में, अपना सवाल पूछिए सर. लगता कॉल ड्रॉप हो गया. अशफाक हफीज हमें मेल करते हैं दानपुरा ब्रेन निशाद से, कहते हैं इट्स अ वंडरफुल लेक्चर बाय वार सर. आई एम ह्यूजली इंडेप्टेड टू डीडी कशीर फॉर प्रेजेंटिंग सच अ वंडरफुल प्रोग्राम. और एक और मेल रुमैसा बिलाल ने लिखा है सफापुरा गांधरबल से, कहते हैं कि ऑल ऑक्सिलरीज आर फाइनाइट वर्ब्स. कैन यू एक्सप्लेन इट फर्दर वार सर?
I've already told you that there are 3 forms of auxiliaries, especially when we talk about do, does and did, that we generally use in questions, interrogatives. And then there is a second form, have, has. And then third form, it is past, that is had. Then there is be form, is, am, are, was and were.
Right.
Only been and being, because these are used as differently, past participle and ing form. That's why these two are non-finites and others are all as what I say, finite verbs, because these are sometimes play the role of a man verb.
Well, thanks a lot for that. We have another email from Shahid Nazir, who resides at Rajbagh. Ghulam Hassan War is always fabulous, as always. Very nice presentation. It's good and fabulous to see the program of Tele Class Room. The program is becoming the center of knowledge. Keep the spirit up. And sir, thanks a lot for such a glorious lecture, Mr. Ghulam Hassan War sir. And all thanks to Mr. Mudasir Gul for some really wonderful expert opinion.
Thank you.
And yes, dear viewers, you can watch the repeat telecast of this program every Tuesday evening, Humaira, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Then every Thursday morning from 9:10 to 10:10. And हुमैरा इसी दुआ के साथ कि नाजरीन जो भी करे अल्लाह उनको कामयाबी और कामरानी से हमकनार करे. दीजिए नाजरीन अपने मेज़बान जमशेद रसूल और हुमैरा शफी को आज के प्रोग्राम से इजाज़त. अल्लाह हाफिज़ और नासिर.